We all find ourselves trapped in ruts at times, stuck in repetitive loops of thinking and behavior that hold us back from growth and change. Though we yearn for transformation, invisible forces keep pulling us back downstream, locking us into the same stagnant life position. Why do certain patterns maintain such a stubborn grip, even as we actively will our circumstances to shift? The answer lies not in our surface goals and conscious efforts, but deeper within, in the powerful philosophical paradigms that shape our unconscious identity, for it is these hidden beliefs that direct how we perceive the world and orient our energies. To ignite true growth, we must illuminate the shadowy depths of programming that drive our lives beneath the veil of awareness. We must unravel the hidden stories we subconsciously tell ourselves about what we can achieve or deserve. Only by bringing these limiting narratives into the light can we begin rewriting their endings. Here we'll uncover why transformation so often eludes us. We'll see how the brain's very structure reinforces habitual loops, and how the bulk of our patterns are unconsciously absorbed from society. We'll explore the untapped potential in disrupting these defaults and reorienting toward expansive new paradigms. For once we can shift the silent philosophies steering our ship, we hold the power to chart our lives in adventurous new directions. How frustrating it must be to see yourself taking some sort of action, yet getting nowhere year after year. Can anyone agree? It's as if we're bike pedaling aggressively but getting nowhere. This pain of stagnation permeates so many aspects of life. We step on the scale each morning to find the same undesired number. We stare back at ourselves in the mirror, wondering why our reflection never seems to change. At work, we labor away at the same soulless tasks and watch as others pass us by for promotions. In relationships, we repeat the same destructive arguments and patterns of behavior. No matter how hard we try to break the loop, we keep reverting to autopilot. Even small goals like cleaning the house or inconsistent gym habits seem impossible to stick. Before we know it, the months and years slide by, yet we remain in the same place. How can it be that time continues to move forward while we stand still? It's easy to feel frustrated, resigned, and powerless in the face of such relentless inertia. We begin to worry that we're simply the type of people who get stuck, that we lack the willpower or potential for change. The implied message is that we're not capable of pursuing our dreams and achieving more. But at our core, we know this learned helplessness is false. We all possess deep wells of untapped potential within. The problem is that our subconscious patterns and beliefs erect walls that block us from dipping into these reservoirs. We become so accustomed to operating on autopilot that we move through life asleep, going through the motions as always. The way forward lies in awakening, in jolting ourselves from this slumber through intentional awareness of our unconscious programming. Only by interrupting the trance of conditioned habits can we begin steering our lives with conscious choice towards expanded horizons. Suffering through the pain of stagnation serves a purpose of motivating this awakening. It has brought you here. There are no limits to what we can accomplish when we bring the full force of mindful awareness upon our circumstances. But first, we must drag the barriers to change out of the darkness and into the light. By illuminating the hidden forces that shape our experience, we can unlock trapped potential waiting to be unleashed. To understand why we get stuck in the same loops, we must first recognize that most of life operates on autopilot. Habits, ingrained behaviors, and unconscious thought patterns drive the bulk of our daily actions. In fact, studies show that upwards of 95% of our lives unfold mechanically. We absorb a set of conditioned responses from parents, school, and society, then live reactively based on this programming. It is estimated that just 5% of our cognitive processes occur consciously. This relates closely to the hierarchical structure of the brain, which I explore further in my video on rationality and emotional intelligence. In summary, the lowest level houses our automatic functions like habits and motor skills, followed by the emotional level with the rational conscious mind at the apex. Our habitual patterns reside in the basement, so to speak. Only with intentional effort can we ascend to higher floors of conscious choice and direction. But left unchecked, the unconscious loops repeat, keeping us trapped at the bottom levels of thinking. Over time, we construct entire identities and worldviews around our default programming. The core beliefs forming our sense of self and what we deserve get established in childhood, then reinforced until they feel intrinsically true, even if they're irrational or unhealthy. We then make decisions aligning with this rigid identity template. Without disruptive inputs, these stagnant loops of processing and behaving keep perpetuating. Our autopilot navigates familiar routes on repeat, never deviating course or questioning the map terrain. Is it any wonder we end up in the same place year after year? But the brain also exhibits incredible neuroplasticity, continuously forming new neural pathways in response to new information and experiences. We are not permanently fixed entities, but always evolving, whether consciously or not. By intentionally introducing novelty into our patterns, we create growth. This highlights the tremendous untapped potential within each of us to generate change. Imagine if we could surface those subconscious beliefs keeping us stuck, dismantling limiting narratives about what we're capable of. If we could rewrite the old behavioral scripts and wire our brains for empowering habits and thought patterns instead. By shining light on the shadowy programming beneath our awareness, we illuminate a path forward. Beyond just goals and willpower, we must examine the unexamined paradigms directing our lives if we want to steer ourselves somewhere new. The exciting news is that we hold the keys to altering our conditioning. With an expanded awareness, we can begin consciously optimizing our creation process towards growth and contribution. The first step is simply accepting that alternative ways of being exist beyond the familiar. From here, we can slowly chip away old limitations and expand our sense of possibility. With time and practice, our revised conditioning propels us naturally towards the actualization of our highest ideals. If transformation begins by illuminating the unconscious forces shaping our lives, then where do we go from there? How can we actively rewrite our conditioning and pull ourselves onto new trajectories? The solutions lie in adopting an expansive philosophy oriented toward growth, then aligning our identity, habits, and systems accordingly. First, cultivate a growth mindset. Understand on a core level that who we are and what we're capable of is never fixed, but always evolving. Let go of limiting labels and narratives by embracing the fluid, ever-changing nature of our personalities and potential. With an open philosophical framework, consciously engineer your identity. Our subconscious core beliefs shape what we manifest, so define yourself in empowering terms. Release attachments to past versions of yourself, and focus on who you are becoming. Now engineer habits and systems that reinforce your chosen identity. Target ingrained patterns not serving your growth, and replace them with routines embodying your vision. Ritualize these behaviors until they become automatic. Remember that goals are endpoints, while systems, the processes like habits, get you there. Along the way, shed outdated paradigms that conflict with your growth. Remain fluid like water, adapting beliefs continually as you expand. Absorb empowering information and experiences to keep your mindset evolving. Also, embrace the Japanese Kaizen philosophy of constant small improvements. Kaizen has come to mean continuous improvement, and is found used in business and self-improvement circles. By aiming for 1% gains daily rather than grand slams, our incremental progress compounds exponentially over time. Finally, bring conscious awareness to your unconscious patterns. Shine light on hidden programming so you can consciously choose your environment and inputs. Redirect negative loops into positive rituals aligned with your vision. While installing new habits and beliefs, also nurture acceptance for the process itself. Growth is nonlinear. Patiently work through setbacks, knowing they prepare you for your next level. Trust that by consistently applying these principles, you will actualize your most inspired dreams. The key is recognizing that transformation transcends any single goal or behavior. It is a lifestyle encompassing your entire mental framework and sense of identity. By holistically aligning your philosophy, vision, and daily practices with your chosen growth trajectory, you begin steering your life where you consciously want it to go. The amazing news is that we all have the power to rewrite our programming on the deepest levels. No matter where you are now, you can use these principles to unlock your dormant potential and become the highest version of yourself. The only limits are those we impose through limiting beliefs. It's time to illuminate our unconscious conditioning and boldly claim our freedom to grow. There is nothing permanent except change. Heraclitus.